Welcome back to Today in Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. Math is often one of the hardest subjects to visually depict, but a new exhibit at the Museum of Math does exactly that. Automated robots follow simple mathematical rules that allows them to work as a group and potentially carry out advanced tasks like search and rescue. Our Roger Clark has the story.
Here they come. They look a bit like really colorful horseshoe crabs, but they're actually glowing robots on the prowl.
Look like they're moving underneath your feet as if you're walking over water, and these are aquatic creatures swimming around.
Under a glass floor in an area that resembles a boxing ring. It's called Robot Swarm. Visitors can interact with the robots wearing a color-coded sensor pack that allows these little guys to detect you.
What we wanted to show with the robots is how you can take just a few simple rules that are easy to write down, like stay a certain distance from your neighbor, try to head in the same direction as your two nearest neighbors, and they produce this incredible behavior that looks like something from nature, like a flock of sheep or a school of fish.
If you get close to it, they would just go away from you.
Behaviors include pursue, run away, and the signature behavior, swarm. If you're waiting to get on the floor, you could use an interactive control deck to select the robot's behavior.
Because it makes it more fun. I used to look at math in not a very fun way. And this made it a lot more fun.
The museum's founders say it's another way of bringing math to life for visitors.
It's really a way to take something that's normally somewhat black and white on the page and play with it in a fun, interactive way.
To be able to take one of the coolest technologies that's being created now and to understand that what drives it is mathematics, I think that excites people.
For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Roger Clark.
The American Museum of Natural History is doing its part to get young folks into STEM as well, but it's teaming up with HBO on a documentary by kids for kids. It's all about protecting the environment and the science of climate. Our Stephanie Simon gets one-on-one with some of these students involved.
The film is a message from kids to kids about their hopes for the future of the planet.
It's about planet Earth, and it's about the human society, the human race. How are they going to inherit this planet? What is the planet going to look like when our generation is going to be in the world? So I believe that this has a really huge way to change people's minds.
It's from kids to kids, and we learn something in listening to kids, always, all of us. And it's very deep and very moving, I find, listening to kids and hearing their optimism and their hopes for the planet.
The documentary is a collection of songs, activism, and tips for protecting Earth. HBO Documentary Films partnered with the American Museum of Natural History on the film, and it features some of the museum's scientists teaching their young co-stars about how climate change affects plants and animals.
A fish at home in an aquarium, when the water warms up, you'll see the fish gulping for air. That's because warm water doesn't hold oxygen very well. Cold water carries a ton of oxygen. What's going to happen to these species if they can't adapt? Or if they can't move from one place to another where it will be cold? What if there are no more cold places?
For the students, it's a chance to make a difference.
Being a part of a movement is an amazing thing. And I believe that this will spread that message of positivity and hope, of creation, of that we do have the power to make a difference, and we do have the power to change the world.
For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Stephanie Simon.
Now on Staten Island, we check on some other students also working with robots, but this group is actually building the robots themselves out of stuff from in here. So what can these student-built robots do? Well, make music, of course. This might not look like much, but these students are doing some serious STEM. They're taking trash and turning it into solar-powered trash robots that play music. They showcase the possibilities of incorporating sustainable power and reused materials in new, imaginative ways.
You just have to use your imagination, really. It's not that hard. You could just do it. Even if you're not good at science, you don't need to know science. You don't need to know anything. It's just, you just need to have an imagination.
Like you get to play around with it and see how it sounds. And if it doesn't sound right, then you could always go back and fix it.
The program is a collaboration with Fresh Kills Park and Daft Junk, a group of NYU graduate students who are building these solar-powered musical robots.
We wanted a really fun and simple way to highlight solar energy and also like to use sort of recycled materials. I find a lot of these sort of STEM initiatives are very academic in nature, and this is more about play, and I think the kids are actually learning more and getting more interested in potentially carrying on, and learning more about science and technology because of this type of experience.
We're making robots out of solar panels and, using electricity to make objects move, to make noise. So like we're technically making robots that make music, and I like it because it's fun.
Organizers say this kind of activity is different from what students learn in the classroom.
This type of workshop at Staten Island Makerspace gives an opportunity to complement what's happening in the classroom with a creative activity that's collaborative and fun and not necessarily it doesn't necessarily feel like school, but they are using ideas around solar power and circuits and things that you do learn in the classroom at a young age.
You can catch the Daft Junk Band playing at parks around New York City. Well, that does it for this episode of It Ain't Rocket Science. As always, to find more hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, head over to www.connectamillionminds.com. And until next time, it's been a blast.